Ever since Meghan Root can remember, journaling has always been an outlet for her. About a year ago, she wrote an article surrounding her anxiety and stigmas about mental health. This fall, she finally felt it was time to publish it on Cuse.com. I got a chance to sit down with Meghan where she read the article, and she told me that being an athlete is not always what meets the eye.
Root's 2 goals give Syracuse first ACC victory. Meghan Root scored her 3rd goal of the week to become SU's new top scorer. Scrolling through social media, reading those headlines, it felt pretty darn good to be Meghan Root. I mean, those are the moments you dream of as a little girl. An overtime goal to end the game and give your team a huge win. I've been chasing moments like that for as long as I can remember. It was the best night of my life. And while I wish I could say that had always been my reality, it certainly wasn't. Flashback to 2 weeks prior. We were playing our first ACC match at home against Louisville. A few minutes into the game, I had a missed touch in our defensive half that sent one of the Louisville players into our box where she'd score the first goal of the match. It sent me, on the other hand, into a full-blown panic attack on the field, and perhaps the worst 45 minutes of soccer I've ever played in my life. I left the field just before half with tears streaming down my face. I couldn't control my breathing. I tried to calm down, but I couldn't stop thinking about that touch.
I think when I get anxious, I get carried away with certain fears or thoughts that wouldn't normally bother me so much. But when it kind of transpires into more, it's tough to describe. It just almost seems completely overwhelming, like you can't deal with it.
That's the thing about being an athlete. You're always chasing those moments. And even after they happen, you're back to chasing them again. In between those moments when you feel like you're on top of the world, there are the realities of what we do. There are missteps and missed touches and missed just about anything you can think of. There are late nights of analyzing a game gone wrong. There are failures. So many failures.
I think one of the biggest things is that athletes, and especially I find this in myself, aren't willing to admit when they're struggling or when they're having a problem. And I think I was struggling for a couple weeks leading up to the Louisville game, but I hadn't really acknowledged it and sat with it and tried to talk about it. And I've had so many conversations with teammates and other people, former coaches, who've reached out and been like, I've had the same struggles. And it's people you're with every day, but you don't even notice that. So I definitely think the more people talk about it and share their stories, the more normalized it will become. One of the things that really helped me was journaling. For me, I talked about how writing kind of helps me clear my thoughts and get it all out and refocus on what really matters to me and kind of who I know I am and get rid of the anxiety. Be kind to yourself.
And as backward as it may seem, embracing those failures and that struggle might just be the thing that makes you better. Sit with your struggle, use those around you for help, and know that you are never alone.
After Meghan's article was posted, she received an enormous amount of support from her coaches and teammates, and she said it really helped spark a conversation about mental illness. If you or somebody you know is struggling, you can head over to the National Alliance of Mental Illness.org, that's NAMI.org, for more information.